Scientists say there are two things which predict the likelihood that you're going to be successful as a person. This is highly controversial stuff. The first one is IQ. If you are a higher IQ person, you will be able to solve complex problems at a faster rate than a lower IQ person. But unfortunately, IQ is highly heritable, between 0.5 to 0.8, which means that if you've got parents who are very, very high IQ, the likelihood that you're also going to have IQ is quite likely, right? But the second trait, which predicts the likelihood of your success, isn't as heritable. It still is a bit heritable, but it isn't as heritable. It's called conscientiousness. And what conscientiousness means is, are you self-disciplined, right? Are you orderly? Are you organized? Are you a hard worker? Are you a person who has ambition? And you can objectively measure yourself on a quiz. I'll give you the name of the website for the quiz at the end. But you can objectively measure yourself on this. And a person who is high in conscientiousness is highly likely to be able to set goals and get them done and push through all the obstacles which come about. But the thing is about conscientiousness is it depends on environment, your upbringing, and your habits as well. So you can develop it even more, right? So I think one of the best ways to develop your conscientiousness is, and it's something that everyone can do, is get yourself to the gym and start building fitness and strength. And I'm going to tell you about some of the benefits of doing that, both in the mind and both physically, in a minute. If you are a person who's overweight, out of shape, it is likely that you have bad habits in place or you're in a bad environment, because otherwise you wouldn't look like that. When I got myself in the right environment, I could easily go to the gym every single day at lunch, and I could go for an hour and I could build muscle, and I ended up going from this in my 20s to this in my 30s. There's a reason going to the gym and building muscle works and improves your conscientiousness, which in turn improves your chances of success. The reason is that, number one, when I go to the gym every single day, I am saying to myself, this is part of my routine. I have dedicated an hour a day to health, which means I can set a plan and stick to it. That builds up in my head the confidence that I can actually set a plan and stick to it. It also, number two, delays gratification, which means essentially, rather than me wanting to actually eat loads of crap food on my lunch and, you know, maybe go and drink alcohol and just spend my entire lunch scrolling through my phone or going on video games, instead I delay that because I know the reward of looking and being in good shape is much better. Number three, when I used to not do this, I would eat my lunch in the afternoon and I'd have this massive crash no matter what I ate for hours at a time. And I run multiple businesses. I cannot lose a few hours in the afternoon where my concentration is only 20 to 30%. Now I do this, I'm focused, I'm on the ball, and I can crack on and make progress. And number four, and this is huge, right? So I want you to really pay attention to this. Most people's perception of you actually matters. Now, the woke world that we live in at the moment, they will tell you that everyone's equal and perceptions don't matter and people don't judge on looks. Every single piece of scientific and psychology literature points to that is not the case at all, right? And if you look back in evolutionary times, if I go and meet someone for a business deal, right, and I turn up and I'm in great shape, they are instantly going to make certain assumptions about me. This guy can take care of himself. This guy is obviously a hard worker. I instantly respect this guy, which when it comes to time to closing the actual deal, it's much, much easier for me. Trust me, I know, because I've been doing business for years and negotiation for years. And when I used to be stick thin, I used to do boxing and Muay Thai. So ironically, I could fight pretty well, right? And used to do bits of MMA and submission wrestling and that. I could fight pretty well, but like my physique never showed it, right? Because I didn't actually put on the muscle. It is much easier to close now as a person who is built, and people can tell that when they come to shake my hand. this goes back to evolution, right? So in evolution, we wanted to partner with people who were high in conscientiousness because it meant they were going to provide resources for the tribe. They are, could defend themselves. So they've got broad shoulders, small waist, big arms as well, because we know that if another tribe attacks us, we're going to be in safe hands, right? And if you think about what tribe you want to partner with, is it the tribe that is either stick thin or massively overweight, which shows that they're probably low in conscientiousness, and it shows that they probably don't even care about themselves, so why would they care about anybody else in the group, right? Or are you going to want to partner with the people who are high in conscientiousness, big, jacked, lots of resources, can defend the tribe when they need to? You're going to want to partner with the right people. And unfortunately, we live in a completely different modern day world now, but evolution and the findings of it are still very, very relevant, right? So if you're completely out of shape, and I'll be honest, I think I saw a study the other day which said 60% of people in the UK, I live in the UK, are fat, right? And then 40% are obese. And then 40% of that 40% are morbidly obese, right? And I also saw another study which said that once you're over the age of 30, 90% of people will never sprint again. Crazy, right? So this applies to a lot of people. One of the best ways to increase your chances of success and increase your conscientiousness and turn you into that person who can follow through on goals, who is a hard worker, who writes a plan and can stick to it, who is organized, which these are all conscientious traits, is working out and building muscle. Right? It is as simple as that to start building the ladder. I'm just looking at my phone here. I've got an app called MyFitnessPal, which says, which you can measure the calories you're taking in per day, the protein you're taking in per day. And they do daily streaks on it. So what length did your daily streak? Have you logged in for a week in a row and put your calories in? If you look at mine there, I don't know if you can see this. That's the streak at the top there. It says 669 days in a row I have logged my food for. And that streak gets broken if you miss a day, right? So I missed a day before that because it was Christmas Day, and there was another 100 days before that. So what I'm saying is the ability to stay disciplined, the ability to follow through, to do things in a row, to be consistent, all come down to this here, which is a predictor of success. And a lot of people talk online about be consistent, be consistent, be consistent, but they never actually tell you how to go about it, and they never actually explain the science behind it. So I'm hoping this has helped you today. If you want to go and measure your own conscientiousness, there's a few different things of it. There's Hexaco. Here's my conscientiousness from my Hexaco scores. You can see it's in the top 10th percentile. I think that's actually probably in the top 1 percentile as well. But this has definitely increased over the years with my newfound ability to stick to routines and be consistent. Things that I've attained through going to the gym consistently. And there's also the big 5. I recommend Hexaco because it tells you different parts of your personality, like your anxiety levels as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave me a comment below. Tell me what you think of this. Tell me if you agree with this. Tell me if you're going to make some changes to your life as well. Take care.